Argentino Santisima, el vaquero Navarrete.
The WBO Super Bantamweight Championship is old-time world champions in the 50s and 60s. They didn't even have that busy of a schedule.
They did at this point, aside from his fight with Isaac Dogbe, but it was strange because it's kind out there from Santisima, but he is a really good combination puncher. He has some great body work, and maybe is even Marquez knockout of Manny Pacquiao right here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
For him to make, he wasn't necessarily having the easiest of fight weeks because he made the weight, but it wasn't.
He's been wanting a unification fight. It hasn't really come to fruition because of how frequently he's been fighting and the dates.
Getting into this fight against Santisima.
Absolutely, and he's always been that of a professional, and you could tell by because you're fighting so often.
No doubt, it's like watching again. You would describe Navarrete. He said he's a slugger and a fighter.
And that was the extent of it. I tried to get more. Which wasn't great. We tried. But, he's just one of those guys where...
Change his life from, quote-unquote, rags to riches comes out for Emanuel Navarrete. Doubling up on the jab. Santisima seems to be waiting for that home run.
Yeah, and I think he's just being a little bit cautious, probably trying to feel out Navarrete, because in what I've seen from him in the first couple of rounds, as he should be.
Well, Navarrete can certainly his 30 total in his professional career. That was against Francisco Horta by 4th round TKO. There's a good shot by Santisima as he rips to the body of Navarrete.
And he likes both sides of the body, so when he finally does let his hands go, I think you will see more of that body.
The best of weight cuts that Santisima should be ripping the body to see how much.
Media, but I don't know how privy that Santisima is to that. But either way, it works out.
Is Gio Santisima as we approach the end of the second round. They adopted the nickname of Vaqueros.
To the body here in round 3. I think Paulina's corner said, let's pick it up.
A lot stronger than what he has in the first 2 rounds, Christina, as you pointed out. And it's curious to see.
Sometimes has taken some unnecessary punches, but not really at the hands of anybody that he's had to worry about to this point. But his team fights.
Well, both men have quite a bit of power. A left hook that connected. Santisima went back. Oh, wait a minute. I stung him. I hurt him. Just over the midway point up. Now we're starting to see that quote-unquote feeling out process, Christina, dissipate between them.
I mean, he won the first 2 rounds arguably just off using his jab. So he hasn't really had to open up more as he does now in this exchange.
There's no men starting to let their hands go more. We know that the Super Bantamweight division, an exciting division here in boxing. The division. There's a left hook by Navarrete. As he pushes.
Ray Vargas versus Emanuel Navarrete would be a great matchup.
I think it would be just bombs away. Yes. Television several times with this fight. So left hook to the body, but answering back to Santisima. Look at this action as we conclude.
There we go. Heating up a little bit here, last 10 seconds. That's what the fans want to see.
Here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, finally.
He said, from promoting Muhammad Ali to now promoting Tyson Fury.
I mean, and you know what? This has been a joint venture, and great to see everyone working hand in hand with one another. But speaking of hands, Navarrete is looking to land a big shot upon Gio Santisima, but Santisima comes right back, going to the and the action intensifying.
Yep. Those looping hooks that come from Navarrete.
Santisima is fighting in spurts as he connects with the right hand, but Santisima
at all.
Well, he's waiting for that big home run shot, and Navarrete steps in with the sweeping left cross. Oh, there's Navarrete was hit. He stumbled back with the ropes, Christina. He could have been off balance, but it certainly appeared like Navarrete was hurt.
Oh, it passed the eye test to me, and you, and probably to the judges, too.
Gio Santisima from the Philippines making his United States debut here tonight with the Bantamweight Championship of the World. And he threw a left followed by a right that snapped back to Santisima. Fight of moments as the action is heating up here in Las Vegas. World title matchup here at 122 pounds. That punch gives Santisima confidence heading into a round or 2 ago, Christina, that Santisima has to be more active. There's a left hook by Navarrete. Emanuel Navarrete, Gio Santisima battling for this. Navarrete coming forward. There's a right to the body by Santisima. There's a right cross, a left hook that connected by Santisima. Santisima literally putting down his head, Christina, throwing, but back comes Navarrete.
And Navarrete's letting his hands go. I mean, he probably has Gio, and I think he has Gio hurt a little bit right now.
Santisima seems to be hurt. He's going backwards. Navarrete in seek and destroy mode. Champion in Emanuel Navarrete. There's a left on the top of the skull of Santisima. Chopping right hands by the champion.
Referee Russell Mora something right now, and he holds veteran move to try to keep himself in this
and make a 5th successful title defense in nearly the past 12 months. And that ends the round. What an action, and a right hand that backs up Santisima. Another right hand off. Seconds remaining in the 6th round. A left hook that connected by Santisima. Excellent matchup in 60-second increments, and I'm exhausted, much less 120.
Well, and that's in comparison to only 27.
As we enter round 7, Ray Flores, Christina Poncher, honored to be is on the line as the champion. Emanuel Navarrete looking for his triumphant title defense. A right hand, chopping right hand, starting it off for Navarrete. Navarrete goes to southpaw, and
Gio Santisima, a different look. Has fought most of this fight in the orthodox stance, but
This is Emanuel Navarrete, and I think that serves him well because for a young fighter, he's probably taking these different looks, especially when you are starting off and you are typically a conventional fighter in this fight. There's a right to the body by Santisima to Navarrete. Gio Santisima. We're at the halfway mark of the 7th.
Not impressive and landing it both. Oftentimes, though, you get caught. If he fights a fighter with a little bit better timing, he may be caught right in the middle of that switch or sacrifices defense as he starts to let go of some of those wild hooks.
Way upon the head of Gio Santisima goes backward. Instead, he should come forward and try to get the pressure in the forward, followed by the right hand, and you get double the impact upon your power punch.
Yeah, something when he watches his tape back that he did in the gym, especially because sometimes Navarrete is caught, standing straight in front of him with both feet not even out of an angle.
He has these subtle head movements, so he knows that Santisima is a power puncher, but he has these little slight head movements for Santisima to connect upon him.
And the problem with Santisima right now is that he's fighting primarily going backwards, and he's not as comfortable in that from, off his back foot, retreating backwards.
And it was spoken that Wilder was dealing with...
Behind that is different for each guy, but additional weight on each. Deontay doesn't need any help in the power department, but let's see if it makes a difference for Tyson Fury.
On Tuesday, he goes, I'm going to knock him spark out, or I'm going to spark him, is what he told you.
Yeah, so. He's sticking by that second. I don't know how many people have gone to the sports book and took his word on that. I wasn't rushing there to this day.
Well, to this Deontay Wilder, yes, to this day. And what a day it is here in Las Vegas. But right now, a left hook for Santisima.
All throwing punches, over 500 punches thrown through 7 rounds here. It's the activity division at this way. It's unparalleled from Emanuel Navarrete.
He gets clipped with the left hook, but back comes Navarrete. I think he could throw a sledgehammer at Emanuel Navarrete. He'd shake it off and come back and throw a 9-point. And how do you, if you're Santisima, does he have a plan B?
Highest level of opposition in his last 5 learning to do at this level.
Well, it always goes to the adage, iron sharpens iron. Dealing with tough adversaries, it makes you better.
And I'm not saying Navarrete is the toughest competition or opposition either, but he's a world champion. He's got to this point. He takes everybody's best shot every time he steps in the ring. Yep.
And Navarrete now coming forward once again towards Santisima. What a matchup here in Las Vegas. You've seen him bury his attack through the corner of Gio Santisima. You have to wonder, as we are after the midway point ninth, as we did in the 3rd.
Well, yeah, aside from that 5th round where he threw over 100 punches.
The body, using hooks, switching, being ambidextrous when you feel. To us, he has a sizable lead against Gio Santisima. They both exchange at the end of the 9th. Great
Big boxing fan.
Absolutely.
Hey, these guys know how to bring the stars out.
Is that a sign of things to come? One can only hope.
I know we're supposed to be calling
Gets me a little excited, Christina. I'm just saying, it's giving me a little bit. It's giving me an idea. And for Santisima, he's got to think of other ideas to try to solve the puzzle that is the world champion. In throwing, he has gone about 20 to 30 seconds. But he's probably had about a good 20 to 30 movements in his upper body. That's not going to win you a world title fight, especially.
I think he's landed one punch this round, to be honest with you.
There's a right hand for Navarrete, backing up Santisima. An uppercut for Santisima. Finally threw a punch, but back comes Navarrete, throwing 7 or 8 punches. Look at the champion go.
We had some concerns about that right hand. He is throwing it, but it's really been the left hand that's been doing a lot of the damage. A phenomenal work rate from the champion right now.
A left hook by Navarrete as he's bullying now. Santisima has his back, springs loose from him, and then he unloads a right hand in of Santisima. The pressure really starting to get to the challenger from the Philippines.
They're not really saying whether or not he thinks he heard it or not, but perhaps that's why he was shaking it out. But I guess we'll find out.
With a left and a right on the top of the head, and that ends the 10th round. You're headed to enjoy a nice dinner after tonight is over, but
we've earned it.
Oh, absolutely. So question coming into this fight, Christina, about the cardiovascular conditioning of Navarrete.
Total punch output in this fight compares to the last few because, like you talked about, the rest.
Santisima is known as a heavy hitter, but in order to be a heavy hitter, you have to throw.
Yep, and they're talking about early in the fight. That's his bread and butter, is going to the body, and that's where he's had most of his knockout.
The ropes, and he's inviting Santisima in.
He's like, let's go. Let's put on a show. Yeah, and he really wants to get the knockout.
There's a left hook, and now Navarrete really pouring it on, bullying him around the ring, snapping back his head. Look at the champion unload as he is walloping Gio Santisima. He was almost running, and right now, this may be close to being stopped with a bevy of punches. Russell Mora watching the action, knocking up on Santisima. Santisima in deep, deep trouble with a minute 5 to go.
He was holding on for dear life to try to keep himself in this fight. How much more of this punishment can he take?
Remaining, Emanuel Navarrete trying to get the finish. Look at the champion go, and Russell Mora stopped it. This one is over. His world title.
And I think the towel came exactly the same time as Russell Mora stepped in.
Enough is enough as Russell Mora putting himself literally in the line of fire to go ahead and stop.
Well, El Vaquero Navarrete.
Emanuel Navarrete